Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Please like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. Leave that donation for that fried rice and chicken wings. Listen, man, ready or not, he had to take it. Is what Eddie Hearn is saying about Edgar Berlanga and his upcoming fight with Canelo Alvarez. Now, I'm gonna say this. When I think with my boxing mind, I am telling you, I would pick Canelo. When you look at this on paper, it's a mismatch. However, shockingly enough to most of you, I'm going with Berlanga on this one. I've done enough videos to explain why. So now that we got that out the way, because a lot of you are going to come in here and keep ripping me like you have been in the other videos, because it's like, damn, Hood Champion, you normally get your predictions right. And if you're wrong, it's because, something actually happens in the fight that no one could have anticipated. But let me just say this, right? Eddie Hearn, when he comes out and says whether Berlanga's ready or not, this was a fight he had to take. I mean, I'm trying not to look too deep into that, but it almost makes me feel like Eddie Hearn is almost feeding Berlanga to Canelo. It's almost like he's kind of acknowledging that he feels Berlanga is not ready for Canelo, but this is just an opportunity that I gotta make sure my guy takes, because financially, it's the best thing for me, a promoter. Now remember, Eddie Hearn said, promoters are gonna do what's best for them. Fighters should do what's best for them. Now in this case, I do think, as far as financially, this is in the best interest of Berlanga. And I think it's in the best interest of Eddie Hearn and his promotional outfit. Career-wise, I actually think this is in the best interest of Edgar Berlanga. Because if he loses to Canelo, no harm, no foul. Now fans are gonna converge on him and beat him down on social media, because that's just what fans do. But there's nothing wrong with losing to Canelo. But there'd be something wrong if he came out here and he lost to, let's say, a Diego Pacheco. Diego Pacheco's not Canelo. Okay, so that being said, I could understand why the fight's been made. I just think Berlanga is going to shock the world. I put a lot of value in Mima Heredia. But obviously there was an offer that couldn't be refused, right? I'm hearing all kind of rumors on what Berlanga is going to make. Somebody said 50 million. I know that's bullshit. Heard 10 million, maybe 20 million. I don't know. But I'm thinking he's making probably between I would say like 7 to 12, right? That's what I think. I don't know though. But the bottom line is he's gonna make a whole lot of money, to where his pops and everybody in his team be on cruise control for a while. But anyway, ready or not, I mean, getting a dream fight doesn't always mean, man, it's a beautiful dream. Sometimes, man, you start dreaming, you end up in a nightmare. And that's what many people fully suspect is going to happen to Berlanga, especially after he, with his 5.5-inch height advantage, I think he has like a 6-inch reach advantage. He's younger. He has all the advantages in those areas. But after a few rounds pass and he realizes that those advantages that he has, it's not giving him the upper hand in the fight, they're going to say this dream fight's going to turn into a nightmare. But anyway, they're going to be fighting September 14th, man, this coming weekend. It's going to be crazy, too. I'm going to go live for that fight at the T-Mobile Arena. And, Eddie Hearn, right? I don't know if Eddie Hearn really... Is he 100% committed to trying to build the next star? Or is he 100% committed to feeding fighters like Berlanga and Pacheco will probably get next if Canelo beats Berlanga, to feeding him to the current star, who doesn't seem to have any plans on retiring anytime soon. So Eddie Hearn can continue to have a nice rapport with him and continue to ride that Canelo wave. But he is saying, a little bit, that he feels that this is Berlanga's chance. And he says he does think Berlanga has what it takes and he can make this chance count. But I personally don't think, how big your ego is, how great of a training camp you had, how big your heart is. I'm just not so sure if these guys are ready for somebody like Canelo. Now, you may say, damn, but you just said you think Berlanga's going to beat him. Yeah, I do. I think Berlanga's going to get him. I just put a lot of value in Angel Heredia. It's just me, okay? But Canelo brings a whole lot to the table, man. I was watching Madrimov and Crawford tonight, right, while I was putting my 6-year-old to sleep. And he going to sleep, right, and I'm watching it, had the volume turned down. I got through like the first 6 rounds. And I'm watching Madrimov, and I'm like, damn, he kind of reminds me of Canelo. The way he's cutting off the ring and walking you down and slipping punches. The difference is Canelo doesn't move as much, but Canelo lets his hands go more. And other than that, he and Madrimov are very similar. And I said, if Madrimov let his hands go more, because he has more movement than Canelo, I was like, he would be damn near impossible to beat. That's how good he is. And then I said, with Canelo, he cuts the ring off, because I immediately started thinking about Canelo. I was watching, like, damn, he kind of like Canelo. I was like, Canelo and Berlanga. Can Berlanga stick out the jab like Crawford was able to stick out the jab? Can Berlanga counter and reset? Can Berlanga, when Canelo gets close, can he rip shots to the body like Crawford was ripping shots to the body on Madrimov? See, there's a lot of things Crawford was doing in that fight, and I was like, man, if Madrimov, was hired by Bival's team to help prepare him for Canelo, right? And we saw how Bival performed against Canelo. We saw how Crawford performed against Madrimov. It's like, can Berlanga put on a Crawford-Madrimov type performance or Bival-Canelo type performance? Because that's what it's going to take. And you know what I was saying to myself is, nah, Berlanga can't do what Crawford does. And he hasn't shown me that he can do what Bival does. But with him working with Angel Heredia, and with Angel Heredia, one of the main objectives of this training camp was for Berlanga, who even he recognized, you may not be ready experience-wise, but we can get you ready physical-wise as your IQ continues to improve, to make sure when you're in that ring, you're throwing 10 to 15 more punches around, because they recognize that's what it's going to take for someone to beat Canelo. You've got to be able to stay busy, get his respect early, so Canelo doesn't just try to walk you down. Now, when I look at it like that, throw about 10 or 15 more punches around, hit Canelo with something hard to make him respect you. Not saying you're going to not just hit him and knock him out with one shot, but hit him to make him respect you. And if he can work like that, he has a good chance. I think he beats him. I actually said I think he stops him. But again, I remember me with just my boxing mind, I said Canelo gets in there and knocks him out, right? But with me looking at Mimo Heredia in that camp, I tell you what, just like it's hard for some of y'all to go against Canelo, it's hard for me to go against Mimo Heredia, right? That's the number one reason why I'm giving Berlanga a huge chance to pull off the upset. I'm just telling you. But anyway, if Berlanga didn't take the fight, right, which some people feel like he shouldn't take it. Let me tell you something. In the civilian sector, people are working at a company. They say the ideal time for someone to be in a company is about 2 years. And you take all that experience with you, and then you go on somewhere else, you take it somewhere else. And look for bigger opportunities. And I think Berlanga is kind of spent about a couple of years there on Matchroom. And this is his opportunity to now take, those experiences and everything there and take it to the next big opportunity. And I think that's what he's doing, is taking it to the next big opportunity in the form of a fight with Canelo. And to just let the world know, hey, over the last couple of years, these are the things I learned. I'm in a much better space now. I'm more valuable. I'm more marketable. Just like a guy who's out here as a network engineer, project manager, or whatever job someone's doing. You take those skills and you take those accomplishments to the next opportunity. And I think that's what Berlanga's doing. But we're going to see how it goes, because Berlanga's coming off of an emphatic win. Canelo's coming off of I don't know what to call what Canelo did with Jaime Munguia. It wasn't an emphatic win. It was more of a win of someone who was showing compassion. It was a compassionate type win, where Munguia put the bing-bings on Canelo till Canelo landed that big shot in the 4th round. And then you saw after that, Munguia was still fighting hard, but Canelo recognized that he had something. And if he wanted, he could unleash it at any time, and he could stop Munguia. And Canelo didn't want to do it. And I could kind of understand, because Munguia was very respectful of his fellow countrymen. He got a young family. Canelo didn't want to ruin his career. He was Mexican too. But with Berlanga's out here telling him to suck his, you know what. So that could work. It could work to Canelo's advantage, because now he's angry, he has a chip on his shoulder, he wants to hurt the Puerto Rican. But that could work to Berlanga's advantage, because now Canelo, who's normally very composed, not emotional, smart, maybe he makes a little misstep in there, and he goes head hunting, and Berlanga is able to explode and tranquilize the Guadalajara, Jalisco native. But I tell you what, no matter what happens, whether Berlanga wins, Canelo wins, I think for Berlanga, he and Canelo have big fights ahead of him. Now, not big names, but in Billy's a big fight for Canelo, as far as somebody who's going to step to him. Because remember, Billy was a sparring partner for Bertabiev. And he's ranked pretty damn high right now. I think he has an interim title or something. But anyway, you got Diego Pacheco in a very good spot with the WBO, I think it is. Yeah, the WBO, ranked number 1. But the bottom line is, there are big fights, big opportunities for both of these guys, whether they win or they lose. But I tell you what, if Berlanga gets the win, there's going to be, I can't see them not being a rematch. Canelo should want to rematch him. But depending on how it goes, he may not, because he didn't rematch Bivol, did he? And when you listen to it, it looks like everyone's planning for Canelo to beat Berlanga. And he's kind of gone a bit quiet about what his plans are. But it sounds like I think there's some talks going on about Canelo and Crawford. You know why I say that? Because Turki Al-Sheikh has piped down. Canelo's come out and said, you never know. But Tim Bradley said he thinks it'll happen. Tim Bradley can't hold goddamn water. Well, Mr. Potato Head ass, he came out, and I think he spilled the beans. Because he said it with a lot of conviction that Crawford and Canelo is going to happen. And Crawford seems to be in the breeze, chilling, turning down fights. So I just have a feeling. As much as I think Earl Spence is going to get that Canelo shot, I just have a feeling Turki Al-Sheikh may have put up some money there where Canelo's out here like, you know what, let me get past Berlanga and I'm going to go out here and handle Crawford. But anyway, we're going to see, man. Mexico Independence Day, they need a big event. Berlanga, Canelo, like they're disrupting everything the UFC had planned, which was dumb for the UFC to try to, battle Canelo on that date. That was just dumb. But we're gonna see what happens, right? Because to me, there's some gaps there for Canelo that I think could create opportunities for Berlanga, like Canelo slowing down, his activity slowing down, and then there's some huge IQ gaps and defensive lapses on the part of Berlanga that Canelo, the way he is, like a goddamn bull in the ring, he's gonna exploit. And if he gets close and lands those shots, he's gonna hurt Berlanga. Berlanga can be dropped. We know that. Anyway, let's see how it goes. There's a lot of things going on, but I just think ready or not for Berlanga. I think for the money he had to take it. I think Eddie Hearn had to feed somebody to Canelo because he knows he wants to continue working with Canelo. Because after Canelo fights Berlanga, that's the end of his PBC deal, and Eddie Hearn may be trying to lure Canelo back over for a couple fights. I just think when you look at the whole dynamic and now they're competing against, the MMA guys on that date, I think trying to push the Puerto Rico-Mexico rivalry, I think that was pretty smart. But I'm telling you, I just have a feeling, man. I got a feeling Berlanga gonna shock the goddamn world. I just do. And remember, the best fighter doesn't always win. It's the goddamn boxer who fights the best on that night. And I think Edgar Berlanga is bringing something extra into that ring that Canelo's not. But we're gonna find out. Anyway, I think with my boxing mind, Canelo beats him. Knocks him out easy. But with me watching and understanding what Berlanga's doing to prepare for Canelo and that goddamn Mimo Heredia, I think he's going to shock the shit out of Canelo where it could go kind of like De La Hoya and Fernando Vargas, where, De La Hoya was definitely the more polished, the fighter who most people were favoring to win. And he got in there and the first round, he felt how strong Vargas was, and De La Hoya was all in the ropes and shit, looking crazy. He was like, I was surprised at how strong he was. But then what you saw happen is that De La Hoya was able to land. And when he landed, Fernando Vargas didn't react very well. And that could be kind of what we see here. Bigger, stronger Berlanga comes in there and has Canelo like, holy shit, this dude is strong. But then after round 4 or 5 or so, Canelo start to pick it up. I don't know, man. Damn good fight, damn interesting fight. Ready or not, Berlanga had to take it. And I can understand why. But the good thing is, whether Berlanga is just being used as like cannon fodder for Canelo Alvarez, if Berlanga loses, he goes on to fight another day because he's supposed to lose. But boy, oh boy, if he wins, he's out of here. And Canelo, Guadalajara, Jalisco's finest, he's going to find himself in a rematch. And I bet you Angel Mimo Heredia's name is going to come up. Because if Berlanga does something, you see, this is the other thing. Berlanga has knocked 16 people out in the first round. You got to have something special about your hands to do that. Even if you're fighting tomato cans, you got to have something special about your hands. Okay, Paulie Malignaggi was undefeated until he ran to Cotto. Malignaggi was out here beating the shit out of people. Wasn't knocking nobody out though. So there was something special about his hands for him to get those wins, but not to knock people out. Got to be something special about your hands to knock people out. So if Berlanga knocks out Canelo, a person can only go so far with the argument that maybe Berlanga was on the cocktail. Because he knocked him out. Okay, well, he's knocked people out before. Don't come saying that. His last fight, he knocked somebody out. In his last fight, he had Angel Heredia. That's why he was able to break that, 5-fight. He won, but no a non-KO streak. Anyway, y'all keep cool. You got to take it. But I just think it's going to be interesting. I think some people are going to get pissed off. And if I'm wrong, I don't give a shit. You're talking about, you don't know boxing, her champion, you, screw you, you curry chicken eater. It's like, yo, my man. We just have conversations, you know what I mean? I rub the crystal ball, sometimes I get it wrong. I just put a lot of value in Heredia, all right? So there you go. Keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. In the breeze.